Hello there everybody, a very good morning to you all and welcome back to howtotrade.com and welcome back to another one of our live streams across some of our social media channels and in the trading room as well with our community, and I hope everyone is doing well on this Tuesday morning. Hopefully, obviously the people in the US haven't woken up. I hope they enjoyed Labor Day yesterday. The markets were pretty much shut / not really moving. So hopefully we can get the start of the week really will kick off from today, hopefully. So you'll probably notice as well, those in the room, that our other coach, our other analyst, Shane from the States, is currently enjoying a nice week break. And so I'm covering for him. So I have put a couple of extra streams in there. So I'm dealing with a lot more messages. So I had about 100 this morning. So if I haven't got back to you, then just send me a reminder. But I am working through them. I promise you that I do always get back to everybody. So yeah, just thank you for your patience in that time. Hello to you in the trading room. It's good to see you all. Martin174, good morning to you. Connor Alexander, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Hello to you, Clone. Good morning, champs, he says. Treehawk, good morning to you. Always good to see you. Thank you for tuning in today. Devon, hello to you. Good morning. Thank you very much for the message. Let's see if there's and if you are across our social media channels, whether that be on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, pop up and say hello. Let me know what you're doing. Let me know what you're trading. And if you have any questions, then feel free to drop them in there as well. Hello to you, Anna. Good morning to you, and thank you very much for tuning in today. So for the purpose of today's stream, we're going to be running through one of the strategies that we've got inside the trading room, inside our trading academy. And really, we're going to be looking to live trade it. I missed this stream last week. I normally do this one every single week. And it's a strategy called the Trend Rider strategy. For those of you, some of you who are in the room will know that I stream this particular strategy once a week normally to try and find some opportunities. And it's a pretty good one. So I do apologise if sometimes I have to go through the rules over and over again. But it's just that some people, this is their first time and they don't even know what the Trend Rider strategy is. So I do have to quickly go through what it's all about. But I will just point you in the right direction. Saeed, hello to you. Good morning. Thank you very much for the message. Hope you're doing well on this Tuesday morning. Who else have we got? We've got Jerry92 in the room. Good morning, sir. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the message. And who else have we got? Manu100, good morning. Thank you very much for the message. I hope you are doing well and ready for a good week in the markets like I am. Very quickly, offer over at Switch Markets. They're currently matching your deposits up to $5,000 in credit. So if you are interested in getting involved in that, or you're looking to switch brokers or to open a live brokerage account, deposit up to $5,000, you'll get matched with that deposit as well. And you can learn more on the switchmarkets.com website. Okay, good stuff. Right then. Let's get into the meat of the day. And the first thing I want to show you before we look at the Trend Rider is just a quick, look at the economic calendar, just to give us an idea of what it is that we should be expecting today in terms of volatility. Now, obviously, the US will be back from Labor Day, and therefore we should expect the volatility, or at least some volatility, to come back into the market. Certainly a better day than yesterday, which was pretty much a no trading day for me anyway. So just head over to our economic calendar, which you can view on our website, as I've just shown you. If we look at today's high impact news events, the one really we're going to be looking for today on September the 3rd is the ISM manufacturing PMI out of the US. That's the big one for today, in my opinion, because we're going to find out basically the state of the manufacturing sector in the US. So those of you who trade gold, gold and the dollar, will probably see some movement at 3 o'clock this afternoon UK time when we get the ISM manufacturing PMIs. The previous figure was 46.8. Any figure below 50 shows contraction in that sector, which obviously is not good. Any figure above 50 shows expansion. The estimation is for 47.5, so slight improvement from the previous figure. Again, what does that mean for us as traders? Well, some short-term movement maybe in the US dollar. Any figure above 47.5, likely to see some dollar strength. And any figure below the previous 46.8, then we're likely to see some short-term dollar weakness as well. For those of you who trade the Swiss franc, And I know we've got a couple of people here from Switzerland in our community. Dibbo, I don't know where he is, but I don't know where he's gone. He's got gross domestic product figures and consumer price index figures out of Switzerland. 1.1% was their inflation year on year, which is slightly lower than the estimate and the previous. But their GDP increased, which is quite a positive, really, set of readings for the Swiss economy and probably for the Swiss franc in general. I wonder how that's performing off the back of that. Oh, I don't know what's happened to my open list. That's weird. There you go. Never seen that before. Must be an update. A bit of a mixed bag, really. Swiss franc's down heavy against the Japanese yen. Probably that weak. It's probably that weaker inflation which is coming through. Okay. Who else have we got? Oh, Curtin. Hello, live from the USA. Oh, wow. You have brilliant. Curtin's over in the US for a few weeks. Fantastic. I hope you enjoy. Whereabouts are you? You anywhere nice? I'd love to go to America. So it's one of my favourite places. Who else have we got in the room? There's a few messages coming through. Also, as Sheriff 552, please I need a guide on how to set the TST strategy on MetaTrader 5. If you head over to our trading education section, and you head over to course number 1, I promise you, if you watch this course, the triple screen trading module 3, start from here and watch all 5 of those videos, you will not only be able to download the tools and set up the strategy, but you can also get access to the tools here as well. Look, under the learning resources, you get access to the tools for that video. Now, just bear in mind, just to bear in mind, MT5, we don't have the support and resistance tool for MT5. It's only for MT4 at the moment. So just bear that one in mind. So you can only have the risk manager and the pattern finder. So if you want to do triple screen trading, it will have to be MT4, which you can do on Switch Markets as well. Dan, hello to you. Good morning. Dan tried to play the Swiss CPI this morning. He's not sure if it's going to play out. He went long on the USD Swiss and on the Euro Swiss, and so far he's in profit. Well, it is working out then. It's not doing too bad. If you're unsure about it, then think about trying to protect some of your losses. Or take some off the table. I'm not sure what sort of risk reward you've got on the trade or where you entered, but try and protect. If you're not sure on it, try and protect yourself from any losses by moving that stop loss to either a more sensible place or even towards where you entered the market. Chamira Martin, good morning. It's his first time on the live streams, and thank you very much for joining in. Anyone else who's active across our YouTube, feel free to drop any questions or say hello on the YouTube chat. Good to see you, Chamira, and thank you very much for tuning in today. So, the Trend Rider. Without further ado, if we head over to our Trading Academy again, and you'll see the education button on the left hand side to do that. And this Trading Academy can be accessed at howtotrade.com. If you head over to the strategy section, you'll notice we've got some pre-packaged strategies that you can look to execute instantly in the live markets. And the one that, and I know I shouldn't have favorites, the one which is my personal favorite, the one that suits me the most in terms of time frame, in terms of the style of trading, is the Trend Rider. And I know a lot of people who do enjoy this strategy. For those of you who have been in the room for a few months, you've enjoyed this one as well. So if you just click on that, click Move Me to a New Path, and basically you will notice that you'll have all the strategies on this right hand side here. And we get a video which basically explains what that strategy is. I think this video is actually done by me. Yeah, it was. And you'll get a video which explains exactly what the strategy is, how to trade it, etc. But if you don't want to watch the video, you can go onto the learning resources and you can download some PDFs which basically show you how the strategy works as well. If I just download the trading guide, that will tell me the rules. When we load up that PDF, essentially what we're looking to do is it's a strategy by Mario Singh. It's in his book 17 Proven Currency Strategies, and essentially what we're looking to do is what it says on the tin. we're trying to ride onto a trending forex pair. Those forex pairs are all the major FX pairs. So basically all the US dollar pairs. They're the ones that Mario Singh trades it. Disclaimer, I've not tested it on the likes of gold. I've not tested it on the stock market. If you want to have a look and see if it works on any of those markets, on any of those other pairs, then just give it a test. That's the best thing I could say. Mario Singh in his book says that to use major FX pairs. That's why we've copied that out. So we've not deviated at all. We set the time frame of the chart to be either 1 hour or 4 hour, and we basically add 2 exponential moving averages. Those moving averages are period 12 and period 36. Really, really easy. So if you go over to Trading View and you load up those exponential moving averages, you can add them in indicators. Just change the periods to 12 and 36, and it'll come up on your chart like that. Really easy. Okay. What we then want to do is add the average directional movement index, which is also known as the ADX indicator, to your chart. And this will populate at the bottom of the chart a bit like an RSI indicator. And then when we've added that, what we want to do is add a custom horizontal line on the 40 mark of the ADX. Now, you can do this on TradingView if you like, but from a bit of research that I've done, and you'll never know this unless you're on the streams, that's why it's good to be on the streams, is that the MetaTrader ADX apparently is a little bit more reliable than the TradingView ADX. If you look at them both, they're different, and it'd just be down to the feed or whatever you're using on TradingView compared to MT4. I've been told, and a bit of research, that the ADX is a little bit better and a bit more reliable, a bit more trustworthy on MT4 or MT5. So when you go over to MT4, like I am now, I know you can't see me, but you can obviously see my MT4 screen. You can see that at the bottom here, I've added the ADX indicator, which can be done on this left-hand side on indicators. There, it's right there. And basically what I've done is, once I've added the indicator on, a little pop-up comes up. I make sure the minus DI and the plus DI line are white, or the color of the background that I've got, which is white, so I can't see it. And then I basically just add the 40 level. I add that and then press OK. That then populates an ADX that looks like that. You can change the colors and do whatever you like. And this ADX is basically our exit signal. So we only exit the trade when the ADX tells us to. How we actually trade it? Well, we buy the market when the EMA 12 crosses above the EMA 36. We enter on a retest of the EMA 12. Our signal to go short is when the EMA 12 crosses below the EMA 36, and again we enter on a retest of the EMA 12. So we're always entering at the EMA 12. But there's some rules. We only enter at the EMA 12 if the gap between the EMA 36 and the EMA 12 is at least 30 pips, because that is enough of a, according to Mario Singh, enough of a guideline to tell us that trend is trending, basically. We then use the ADX indicator to exit the trade. So i.e. once the ADX crosses above 40 and comes back below, it tells us that momentum is losing steam and it's time to exit the trade. Mario Singh advises using 3% risk of your total balance per trade, but not to trade multiple positions of the same currency. So you only really trade one at a time. Okay. So when we head over to TradingView, and I just ding that onto the 1 hour, 4 hour time frame, and I basically just go open list USD pairs. What you're looking for is you're looking for a moving average crossover. So the EMA 12, I just need my desk and that really hurt. The EMA 12 is in this blue line and the EMA 36 in the orange, okay? So if we just follow what happened on the pound versus US dollar in recent weeks, so you can see that right there we had a bullish crossover. And as per the strategy, we enter, once we get the crossover, on the retest of the EMA 12 when the gap's 30 pips. So if I use this info line down here, we can measure the pips. As you can see, 35 pips. So there was our entry. Our stop loss is always at the EMA 36. And then you basically or you can see how we just managed to, a little bit of luck. The strategies worked out really well, basically. You can see the amount of profit you would have gained. However, there's probably a time where the ADX did cross back and above 40 and back below, and we would have had an exit signal. And I can probably determine when that is on my trading view. So just give me 2 seconds, let's have a look. So if I move over to pound versus US dollar on the 4-hour time frame, and we know that we entered the market here, right there. If we follow the ADX, we would have exited we would have pretty much exited up there. Wow. So it is pretty much right at the top of when this trend started to finally shift. So that is a textbook, brilliant, fantastic example of how the trend rider works. And it's just about a case of being patient. Because as you can see, what's happened here is as the market has topped out and we've exited the trade, you can see that we've got a bearish crossover, but nowhere near really a 30 pip gap in the ADX indicator just yet. It's only a 9 pip gap. So basically what that means is we've got a potential signal to go short. That is a sign to go short. We haven't had the signal to go short just yet because the gap isn't 30 pips. USD yen can be a bit more tricky because the pip value on USD yen is a bit different. And so I found that you can actually take a little bit more losses on USD yen, but you can also catch on to a fantastic potential trading opportunity. Now this is an example of where potentially it didn't work, and it doesn't always work. But if you just made 30% on your account on that pound US dollar, you can afford to take a loss. And as you can see, we've got a bullish crossover, and I was basically looking for a retest of that EMA 12, which we did, and the gap was 60 pips, but you can see that we got stopped out there. There's nothing wrong with being stopped out. You'll never find a strategy that's got really 100% success rate. So that's an example of when it didn't go too well. That's fine. Let's look at the USD versus the Canadian dollar. Similar sort of thing. You can actually, and this is a trade that I'm actually in at the moment, but not a trend rider trade, it's a separate trade. But you can see that we had that bearish crossover at the top. China Ekarim Cynthia, good morning to you, and thank you very much for the message. I hope you are doing well. Thank you very much for the message. I had just a few questions come in. Curtin's in Oklahoma for my sins. Very nice. Enjoy, Curtin. Martin174, could it be adjusted to work on lower time frames like the 15-minute? If yes, what settings would we set for the EMAs? Now, when you think about why Mario Singh used the EMA 12 and the EMA 36, why do you think he done that? Well, because the EMA 12 for a 1 hour for a 1 hour time frame is 12 hours, half a day, and the EMA 36 is 36 hours, which is 1.5 days. And so there's he uses sort of round numbers, if you know what I mean. So if you think about the 4 hour time frame, when he uses the EMA 12, he's using 48 hours, which is 2 days. And when he's using the EMA 36, this is testing my maths, he's using 144, which is 6 days. So those EMAs are used deliberately because they match up to whole days, basically. Now, if you think about the 5-minute time frame, and I thought about this before, if you thought about this, I thought about the 5-minute time frame. The 12 would be 60 minutes, which is an hour, and the 36 would be 36 times 5 would be 180 minutes, which is 3 hours. So actually, the 5-minute could work with the EMA 12 and 36. Go and test it. Maybe try and do 0.5% per trade. Do a bit of back testing. See if it works with say a 20 pip gap with an EMA 12 and EMA 36 on the 5-minute time frame. See if that works. And really, you can see that you can just see with the naked eye how the market's respected this EMA 12 all the way along the way, which is it's pretty cool. It does work out pretty well. Sometimes, or a lot of the time actually, it's pretty reliable, and it's a higher time frame strategy. So expect to wait a lot of time for the trade, and also expect to be in the trade for a fairly considerable amount of time. As it stands right now, you can see that we're just potentially getting a bullish crossover. So there isn't actually really any confirmation just yet that we can get a trend rider trade. Let's have a look at euro dollar. Okay, similar sort of thing, bullish crossover, respected nicely, nice trend to the upside. But look what's happened over the last sort of few days and few hours is that really clean bearish crossover there. We got our first test of the EMA 12 at that level. And as you can see, the gap in the EMAs was 27 pips. Got asked a question about this yesterday. Well, would I have entered it for 27 pip gap? Well, no, because the rules of the strategy say it's got to be 30. And I'm someone that, if you deviate away from the rules in any way and you've not tested that, then you could be doing yourself a disservice in the long term. So I'd always try and follow the rules as much as you can. And I know your entries may not be perfect sometimes, but get them as close to as you can. And this is obviously all just educational purposes. Let's have a look. We've got another test there. 25 pips. So basically, as Dan has just pointed out, is it looks potentially that we're going to get an opportunity in the next few days of a euro dollar short opportunity on the trend rider. We just got to wait for that, and this is good. We want to see this push down, because that push down will make those EMAs disperse from each other, and that's when we can get the 30 pip gap, and that's when we then wait for the market to come back up and test that EMA 12, and hopefully that gap at that time is 30 pips. Obviously, you now need to be proactive in terms of waiting for that opportunity. So this is a strategy which takes a bit of time to try and find the setups, but when you do, you can see how you can ride onto them really nicely. And I'm just getting signs across all of the markets at the moment that we're getting that bearish crossover. Again, look at USD Swiss franc, getting that bullish crossover now for that dollar. Again, you can see that the gap isn't quite 30 pips yet, but you can see it's building. If you look what happened on USD pound dollar on that beautiful example, once we got the crossover on the 12th of August, it wasn't really until the 14th or 15th of August that we actually got an opportunity. So it can take a few days for that opportunity to take shape, but just keep an eye on them as they come. From Othiettes, hello to you, good morning, and thank you for the message. Just check if I've got any other questions. Fabrizio, hello to you. Good morning. Thank you for the message. Hope you're doing well. Jerry, good explanation. Thank you. Is there any questions that anyone has? Yes, Jay, we are. We are still waiting for the retest on the euro dollar, because the retest here, yes, you would have got away with it. You would have got away with it if you entered there and you had a stop loss of 27 pips. You would have been in profit. I'm not denying that. But the strategy says to wait 30 pips. You do what you want to do. If you want to deviate from the strategy, that's up to you. I'm going to wait, yes, as you say, for the next retest of the EMA 12, and hopefully that next retest will be when euro dollar has a 30 pip gap, and then it's go time. And you can see sometimes the power, and let me just show you a good example of, just see if I can find a good example. We'd have been unlucky there, or we may have not. You could have just about got away with that. Here's an example, straight away. We get a bullish crossover, and you can see that if you decided to ignore the 30 pip gap or the gap in general, and remember where your stop loss is, if you just entered this retest, you'd have been stopped out. All of these retests here would have been stopped out. Let's have a look at this one up here. 28 pip, there you go, perfect. There's a 28 pip gap there when that retest happened. And if you'd have gone, all right, it's only 2 pips, I'll just buy it anyway with a stop loss at the end. You can see you'd have been stopped out and been really frustrated at the fact that it actually went on to be a profitable trade. Whereas if you did just waited for the 30 pip gap, which I think come here, there, 45 pips, you can see that you'd have had barely any drawdown and had a nice little run up to the top side. So it is important to follow the rules. There's probably, not spoke to Mario Singh, but there's a reason he chose 30 pips as a gap. No worries. Hope that helps. Which time frame do I prefer? 1 or the 4 hour? The 4 hour. I prefer the 4 hour time frame. I find it more difficult to get opportunities on the 1 hour time frame because that gap, it's harder for that gap to be 30 pips. So I do prefer the 4 hour time frame. I'm not going to lie, and that may just be as well because I prefer the 4 hour time frame in general. And again, these strategies are about people's personal preference. It might not be for one person, it might be for another. So I do prefer the 4 hour, but you can use it on the 1 hour. And I've just said the maths works on the 5 minute as well, but it's just not. It wasn't in the book, but it does work on the 5 minutes. So I'm interested to see if anyone wants to test that out and see if that one works. Okay, good stuff. Right, so that's probably about it for today's stream. Hopefully that was a nice rundown of the trend rider strategy for you. Go ahead now on the markets and just start to set yourself some alerts at some levels and just keep an eye every single morning. It only takes 20 minutes to follow the strategy and just see if there's any opportunities coming up. If there isn't, you can move on. If there is, then you know in the back of your mind, right, tomorrow I need to check euro dollar to see if I've got that opportunity. And it's a pretty, what's the word? It's a pretty, I forgot the word now. It doesn't take a lot of manning basically to do it. So it's quite powerful. You can do other things on the side. Okay, good stuff. All right, then everybody. I will leave the stream there, and thank you very much for those who have asked any questions. Tomorrow I'll be on at the same time, and because I'm covering 2 streams across the day, the first stream is going to be a pure Q&A. So any questions you have on trading, bring them. If I only get asked 2 questions, then that's all I'm going to answer. If anyone has any questions on trading in general, then feel free to come tomorrow, same time, 10 o'clock in the morning, UK time. It's in the streaming schedule on the website and in the trading room. And bring any questions you have trading related, whether that's markets, strategies, concepts, and I will answer them for you tomorrow morning. Okay? Good stuff. Thank you very much. Do hope everyone has a fantastic trading day. Take care, trade safe, and I'll see you soon.